Did you know that if you live in Austin, over half of the property taxes that you pay in for school funding for AISD does not go to AISD? It's sent to the state to be distributed as they see fit. This is called the Recapture program, or otherwise known as the Robinhood program. So when you pay in a huge majority of your property taxes that go to schools, it's not going to our schools. And a lot of people don't realize that. So if Prop A passes, that would increase the tax rate by 9.1 cents per $100 of your property's taxable value. That means if your home is valued at $553,000, that your taxes would go up by about $412 a year. Now, this is per the KUT website. You can also look on the AISD website. They discuss this as well. If this passes, it would increase funding by $170 million. Okay, great. So Austin property owners, Austin property tax payers would be paying in an additional $171 million in funding. Austin keeps $41 million of that. Austin ISD only keeps $41 million of that. That is what, a quarter, less than a quarter of what we as Austin property tax owners are paying in actually goes to Austin ISD. The rest goes to the state. So it goes into that Robinhood program, it goes into, and it redistributes money. Texas redistributes money to other districts. This is based on property values. Here is the main issue with this, is that Austin property values have skyrocketed in the last few years. We all know this. So we're considered a high property value district, which means we pay in a significant portion of these school taxes to the state. However, the children that attend AISD, over half of them are low income. They're considered low income students. So our property values, our land value has increased exponentially. These students, these citizens of Austin that send their children to school are not high income families. They are low income families who desperately need the benefit of additional funding to have better teachers, to have better programs, to have better administrators, right? Austin right now doesn't have enough buses to take the kids to and from school where they need to go. There's a bus shortage, there's a teacher shortage. My kids have had to sit with in classes where the teacher was gone and there's no substitutes, and they just have to sit in the cafeteria with a security guard. There are students graduating from high schools on the east side that can't read and write past an elementary school level. Austin ISD needs this funding, and we are sending 75% of it to the state. Now, here's the issue, is that schools that are on the receiving end of these Robinhood funds, they're saying that while the funding, what we've paid into the state has gone up about 30%, the superintendents of these property poor districts are telling us that their checks coming in have not gone up 30%. They are not getting 30% more money. We're paying in 30% more funding. They're not getting 30% more money. So where is this money going? What is the state of Texas doing with your property tax money that's supposed to be supporting schools? Okay, Austin right now has about an $80 billion budget deficit. $80 billion budget deficit. But then when you hear how much we've paid in, so Austin has paid in, listen to this, Austin has paid in $2.87 billion. That's just in 2023, okay? There are only 157 ISDs in Texas that are considered property rich that are paying into this Robinhood program. Austin pays in more than the next 3 districts combined. Austin, our little bitty city, our little bitty school district, we are paying in more than Houston, Plano, and Midland combined into this program. And we have shortages in everything. So if you think, yeah, I'd like to pay an additional $400 a year to support Austin ISD students, you're not, right? Of that $400 that you're paying in additional in the next year in property taxes, 100 of it will go to Austin ISD. The other 300 will go to the state. Now, There's a school in La Jolla that just built a $20 billion water park for their school district. A water park. We don't have buses. Yes, our property values have gone up, but our students need funding desperately. I'm not saying don't vote for Prop A. 20%, 25% is better than nothing, right? We do need funding. However, I'm saying we need to figure out how to reestablish this Robinhood program to where our schools are keeping enough money to support our students. When 53% of the students in Austin ISD are low-income families, and we're paying in 75%, 50 to 75% of our property tax payments that do not support these children, I think it's a problem. So I'm not telling you how to vote, but that's what Prop A is about. Austin actually doesn't keep it. You're just giving more money to the state of Texas. So I think it's worth looking into where those funds are going, how it's being used. If the state is supposed to increase the funding per student and the state is supposed to pay that, but then they're using the funding from Austin to make those payments, that means Austin is supporting what the state of Texas is supposed to support. And I think that that's a problem. Having children in Austin ISD and seeing how these budget deficits affect what we're able to do in comparison with schools like Round Rock, Leander, Cedar Park, Dripping Springs, all these school districts that they keep their property taxes, and what their fine arts programs look like, and what their education systems look like, and what their test scores look like, because they have good teachers, good administrators, because they can pay them. It is a huge issue, and Austin is going to keep falling further and further behind in our education and in our fine arts programs if we don't find a way to keep the money that you're paying in your taxes here with our students. So there's my 2 cents.